Hello, everyone. 5 minutes late today. Smack, 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 Lady Edith. Why are you 5 minutes late? What were you doing? Lady Edith, why did you not come to the studio on time? Lady Edith, behave yourself. Make sure you keep to time. Do not keep your beautiful audience waiting. So I say, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, mommies and daddies, youths in the house, loved ones, well-wishers, all of you that tune in time and again, those tuning in for the first time, those tuning in now and again, every single one of you, I appreciate. I feel really, really, really honored to have you join me. And I say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you to those here in the United Kingdom, Nigeria, America, Canada, Jamaica. I think that's where I have audience. I'm not sure about other African countries yet, but the ones I've mentioned, definitely. There are people tuning in from there. So like you know, my name is Lady Edith Adebayo, and I'm your host. I'm the presenter of Relationship Tips, Talks and Tales. Today is the 13th of July, and what we plan to do tonight is the part 2 of the topic we started discussing last Monday. And it's simply a question: is marriage a scam? So when I've sent out this topic, people have replied me saying, why are you asking that? Or some will just say, yes, marriage is a scam. Some will say, no, marriage is not a scam. And then I try to sort of continue with them and sort of probe them to tell me more why and on what grounds they are basing their answers on. And it's been an interesting, shall I say, reflection and time of understanding why people come from where they come from and give the answers they give. And I realized that most people who have had a bad experience in a previous relationship or marriage are the ones who tend to say that marriage is a scam, or people who are currently in a bad relationship. But those people who have had, nice solid marriages, nice solid relationships, they don't believe that marriage is a scam. For me, I must confess and say that I do not believe that marriage is a scam. It doesn't mean that I have had a good marriage or that I have not had a good marriage. It just means that based on my belief as a child of God, as a Christian, and based on the intention that God made marriage to be, based solely on that for me, not based on my experience or the experience of other people of what I've heard, I have concluded that marriage is not a scam. So that's my opinion, because people have said to me that, what do I believe and what do I think? And that is my opinion. So welcome on board, my darling mommy triplex, Mrs. Omoye, all the way from Nigeria. I love you millions, darling. Welcome on board my mommy pastor, Mrs. Oseini. I love you so much, mom. And I know you taught your daughter well. And trust me, mom, despite what I might have been through, I don't believe marriage is a scam. So be proud of me, mom. I don't believe it's a scam. My darling big sis, Mrs. Popola, Mrs. Gap, welcome on board, darling. My darling sis, Sister Bisola, welcome on board. Nice to have you here. And my lovely Mrs. Ntanyi, soon to be Dr. Professor Ntanyi. I can't wait for that day to celebrate you, sis. You've come a long way and you deserve the very best. And I'll keep celebrating it and keep calling you doctor. Because the Bible says that we should call those things that are not as though they were. I see you at the finishing post, and I have such regard for you, sis. So well done. Thanks for joining today. Bisola, same to you. I know that one day I'll see you shining and being that outstanding mental health nurse. I look forward to celebrating you as well. Thank you for joining. Princess Oshuloye, what an honor to have my beautiful sister all the way from Ireland joining me tonight. Enowo, thank you very much. I appreciate you. Chichi Zubi, without you, hey, Edith and Chichi, we are the ones running this show. Then come and add Jane. We are a powerful threesome, force in the studio of CTRIM. Welcome, darling sis. Another lovely sis from Federal Government Girls College, Benin, Nigeria. Onize, thank you for joining. So good to have you on here. I really feel honored. Grandma, grandma, if you were a man, it's you I should marry, you know, grandma. Me and you just live in our bubble. Nobody will worry us. We just be loving ourselves, isn't it, grandma? Grandma, I love you. Emma Lohi, my darling, lovely, blessed sister. Hi, darling. Thank you for joining the show. My beautiful work daughter, Sister Joyce, Mrs. Adekoya. Thank you so much for joining the show. I'm so proud of you and your achievement. Grandma, Mommy Lara, thank you so much. Thank you, Mom. I really appreciate you. My daughter, Ifoma, God bless you, darling. Thank you for joining the show. And my other daughter, Susan Olabisi, thank you for joining the show. I'm really honored. I like my turnout today. Some people that I haven't seen on here today before, they're actually on here. So, this week, no, today's a new week, isn't it? Yesterday was a new week. So last week, I was very sad. I really don't know why, but I just had this, there was no trigger. There was just this overwhelming thing that came upon me. And I was so low, I was so down. And, you know, I cannot pinpoint to, you know, it's this reason or is that reason. A combination of things. I can pick it and say, okay, you know, but in more general terms, it was more to do with where I find myself today. I'm beginning to reflect and think about life that, okay, at this age, this is where we are. Where should we have been? What should have been happening now in our life? You know, and just reflecting and thinking and asking why, what, when, where, how. How did we get here? What did we do wrong? What should we have done differently? How do we now make a plan for the future? Where do we go from here? And asking myself all those questions. And so it got to a point on Saturday, I think, Saturday evening. My nearest and dearest, one of my very best friends, Mrs. Kiakia, she called me, and I think I'm a talkative, like, you know, I love to talk. But I share, and I don't have secrets, so to say. But I still have secrets. But those secrets, they are about maybe one or two people I can tell all to without reservation and without feeling I will be judged. So this my bestest friend, Mrs. Kiakia, called me. And and you know, just hearing her voice, I spilled all, and I was just in floods of tears. And you know, I had a good cry. She was laughing throughout because it was so funny. Because I'm trying to say that sometimes people see you as that strong person, confident, that personality. But when you go into your room and your closed door, you know, you break down. And she came to me, she called me out of the blues, and it was very timely. And she spoke to me, she encouraged me, and she spoke to me about value and self-esteem and about happiness and about, you know, I haven't done anything wrong. Why I am where I am today is not because of what I did wrong. I could not have done anything extra to make the situation different from what it is. I'm speaking in quotes and parables, but anyway, you all know how you get into things that hurt you in your own life. But lo and behold, you know, God is so good. By Sunday, I had two lovely experiences that really cheered me up, and that mood just lifted away. And the first one was church. So we had church yesterday after about 14 weeks. We had church yesterday. That overwhelming feeling of being in the presence of God, seeing all the, you know, my loved ones at church again, and then having to lead the prayer of thanksgiving. And as I opened my mouth yesterday to begin to thank God, I began to realize that really, babe, you have a lot to be thankful for. There are people that are way not where you are. What you feel is something painful and hurting you. There are people worse than you. So really, I should be grateful. And then the second thing that really now put a cap on it and my happiness level just increased was an annual reunion yesterday for the FGGC, my alma mater, Federal Government Girls College Benin, class of 90, not reunion, what do you call it, general meeting that we had yesterday on Zoom. And it was a very, you know, lovely turnout. I am actually the welfare officer for that team. And I wouldn't say I've done the job excellently. I won't give myself even 80%. But, it was just nice to reconnect with people that you've known. And as you can see from the turnout today, there is more than 5-6 of them that have come to watch already. So that really gave me a sort of boost. And there was some talk there that some people gave some talk, and one of the talk was by somebody who is actually here right now, and she made a comment that happiness, you have to sort of be happy today and do what you need to do today, and stop dragging the past with you to the present, because it spoils everything. So that's why people say that marriage is a scam, because we drag the past into the present. It's so hard to detach ourselves from previous marriages, from previous relationships, from previous circumstances, from things that has happened to us. And you then find people saying that marriage is a scam because they've gone through a bad experience. So I want to thank Mr. Koka for being on here. Thank you very much, sir. I want to thank Mr. Hamid Odunaya. Good evening, my dear sister. The Lord is your strength. Thank you very much. I need that strength now. I need it. And Mr. Abe, a good friend of mine that I reconnected with just this evening, he called me out of the blues after connecting with me on Instagram. So somebody I've known for years. So Abe, really nice to have you online today. I really appreciate that you joined me. So yes, it's marriage a scam. So last week, if I can quickly recap, we talked about marriage being a scam from a man's point of view. And it was more to do with, I still had this discussion with one of my colleagues at work. He was saying that, how is it a scam? It's not a scam because even though I have to do those things and be responsible as a man, I have taken a wife, I have had kids. Yes, I know I'm losing out on, what I would like to do for myself. So say I have £1,000, my first thought will be my wife and kids before me. That's what he was saying to me. And he said, I enjoy doing that. So for me, it's not a scam. But when you flip the coin over, for the fact that you have £1,000 and you have to think about other people before yourself, then some people then say that is why it's a scam from the men's point of view. But a good, God-fearing, responsible man knows that in my culture, these days things are different. You are the one who proposed to the woman. You asked the woman to marry you. So you acquired the wife, and the Bible says that he who finds a wife finds a good thing. So you acquire this good thing. So therefore, you should be responsible for this good thing. And somehow you and this wife, you decided to bring other people to the world. You decided because you both had sex and got pregnant and bring kids to the world. You don't have to. So if you're going to bring kids to the world, you have to be responsible for them. So that way it's not a scam. But indirectly, because you then have to feed these people, clothe them, put them as number one, you might feel scam as a man. You feel that you've lost your manhood. You're going out with the boys as often as you would like. Those things that you do, you have to be more responsible. And then unfortunately, if by chance, for some reasons, the marriage then ends, you feel you are scammed, because most times men have acquired more wealth, more property, more things than the woman, probably because the woman is home rearing children. So if they have to then have a divorce, the woman will sort of take half of it, even though she has not invested half of whatever they have acquired, just because she bears a Mrs. before his name. So you feel scammed that you have a house, you put the deposit down for the mortgage, you've been paying this mortgage off. Today the house is valued as $500,000. Your wife and yourself are divorcing. The police comes and they ask you to leave the house. The woman has to stay in the house with the children, and then you leave the house. The case goes to court, and eventually they tell you have to share that $500,000 into two, and you live with $250 million. You feel scammed. There are many ways by which people feel scammed. You might marry a woman and, other things happen and you feel scammed. So that is generally the point of view of the men. So the women, the research, remember I told you we now have somebody who does research for us, and you can see this is not my writing, he did it. And what he said, that the research he did says that women have a different perception about marriage. Some women believe that marriage is a scam because men are almost always getting the better end of the bargain. This is the same thing that men have said, but men are saying it for different reasons to what women are saying it. Why women say it is that they feel that men get easier lives because men mainly go to work, be the breadwinner, and come back home. Whereas women tend to be the ones that, get pregnant, have to, give birth, rear the children, do housework, do cooking, do cleaning. Some of them have part-time or full-time jobs in addition. Some of them are building a career in addition. Some are going to work in addition. Some are in university in addition. And then on top of everything, you come home from work, you have to get the dinner going. Hubby comes home, he eats, you guys relax, then he wants you to be there for him intimately. So women feel that they give so much in marriage, and sometimes it looks like a scam. They feel that their household tools, and they still have to do all these, things for the children, homework, make sure hubby has clean underwear, make sure there's food on the table, and they just feel that they lack, time for themselves, and you can really relate to that, I'm sure, if you're a woman. Women have the belief that they work the equivalent of a month of a full-time job. So when they are home, they feel that they might not be working, but what they do at home is equivalent and even above a person that goes to work full-time. Then it goes on to say that some women feel it's a scam because men, they reap the health rewards. So when they turn 50, when hubby marries you, you are slim, shiny, beautiful. But, after 20 years of marriage or 15 years when you've had the kids, hubby still wearing trainers and his jeans and, yuppie looking. And you are a bit fatter, your belly is protruding. You might end up, the woman might feel that she's, after bringing up kids, her body obviously is not going to be the same again. Women's body expand when they produce kids. So women feel that they are being scammed that way. Research among the mixed group of stay-at-home and working moms say that 99% of them accepted that their husband was the one who benefited the most from marriage. So we came across a research paper who said that most women believe that husbands come out better off. Women feel that they gain weight and they have a lot of responsibilities compared to the man. And as a result, if the marriage then breaks up, the men, most times you find single moms, you don't find single dads. There's more single moms out there. The women are left with the kids. The men will promise that they will pay so amount per month. Many of them, they don't keep up to that promise. Some of them say they will pick the kids at certain times. Last minute, they change their mind. They change times. They change dates. They make promises to the kids. They don't fulfill the promises. When the woman starts having another partner, they become jealous. They start, all sorts of things go on. And then they feel that they are being scammed. But in all and all, the summary is that marriage is not a scam. What actually is a scam is actually the choices we make and the intentions. So I want to differentiate between the actual scam and the scammer. When you meet a woman or you meet a man, there is some form of attraction. You both decide you're going to tie the knot and live together as man and wife. There's something that the man will see in the woman that will make him to say, I want to marry you. It might be because of her looks, of her position, her wealth. Maybe he wants his papers. Maybe he wants children. So similar for men and women. The woman will say yes because she feels, oh, if I copulate with this man, our kids will look very beautiful. The man is black, I'm fair, we'll have lovely kids, or he's fair, I'm fair. You know what I'm trying to say? A woman might want kids, that's why she's going into the marriage. Some might feel, okay, he's already settled, he has a good job, he already has his own house, he has a good car, he's going to be able to provide some financial stability for me. I'm not going to be, feel left out from society among women. Some might feel, okay, I don't have my status in this country. He does. I want to go with him so that he will give me. So the thing I'm trying to say is that only you going into a marriage know your intention. The other person tells you their intention, but they tell you what they want you to hear and believe. Unfortunately, we cannot open the heart of man to actually see what our intentions are. So I can only go by what you tell me, and I believe you. And I build that trust, work with you as a husband, and build that trust based on what you've told me. But unfortunately, as time goes on, the reason why that person, the man or the woman, actually decided to go into that relationship and that marriage will begin to come out. And then you'll find out that that person is a scam. Is a scammer, rather. So, Sister Jane, welcome. Thank you for joining the show. God bless you, my darling sis. Mwah. Sister Betty, you're very welcome. Thank you. Big Sis Lara, welcome. Thank you. Isioho Leonard says good evening. Isioho Leonard, good evening. Says good evening. You're very welcome to the show. I would like to know you more. I like making friends. I like meeting people. So, yes. So, that is the opinion of men, the opinion of women, and that is my conclusion. So, it's time for you to call. You can see the head of Brother Eddie on the show. No, you can't. Okay. Anyway, Brother Eddie is connecting the phone. We had some technical problems, and that's why we're running late. Okay. So you can call. Our number will be on the screen. Please call and share what your opinion is. I will read some opinions from my phone. One of my schoolmates says marriage na scam. Women enjoy a lot. That's an opinion. One brother in my church said to me, not divinely designed to be a scam, but the enemy of every good work of our Lord, the devil, has poisoned most people's mind to scam marriages. And he said that was his little contribution. So, that is my conclusion as well. I actually believe that marriage is not a scam. Darling Paula, my Mary Kay, soon to be director, going places, go getter. Proud of you. Welcome. Thanks for joining. I'm still waiting for you to sort my Rio out, by the way. I'll tell the whole world since you haven't come. So I expect you tomorrow. So, my daughter said to me last Monday, funny enough, when I got home after the show, she said, if you have been scammed by someone in a relationship or in marriage, it does not mean it is a scam. What you do, and then she says, so it's not the marriage. You were scammed in a marriage, but it's not the marriage itself that is a scam, but it's the person that scammed you. Yes, so that's what my daughter says. But she then said that her question to me is, what do you then do if you have been scammed? So that is the second question for tonight. Is marriage a scam? We've sort of come to an agreement that it can be and it cannot be, depending on from what lens you are looking at it from. But if you have then been scammed, you've been scammed, what do? You cannot then say that because you've been scammed, you're not going to remarry. But then I have a big problem with that. I find from my own little research, and I'm very, very open to corrections and opinions, that when we start in life and we decide to marry, we get married. And a lot of you online, I know that you are married. Good evening, Uncle Benga. Good evening. Good evening. Welcome, Uncle Benga. Very, very happy to have you on the show. So when you then get into a marriage, and that marriage is continuing 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, continuing, and you are in that marriage, you go through challenges, you go through difficult times, you go through good times, you produce children, but whatever you see, you are in that marriage because you love that person. You did not have an ulterior motive. You did not have a second choice. Your plan was, your marriage was your plan A. Your marriage was your plan B. Your marriage was your plan C, D, E, F to Z. You did not have a separate plan B. When that happens, that marriage is beautiful. But if you are then in a marriage that it fails, and you then have to go into a second marriage, the first one might fail for whatever reason. You were scammed, he took papers from you, you were fighting, in-laws got involved, financial difficulties, infidelity, whatever reason, and that marriage ends. When you start a second marriage, for me, I think it's very difficult, because the first marriage has its baggage it's going to bring into that relationship. And that first marriage baggage will always be a problem in the second marriage, except you two decide to work together and do not allow these external forces. But like I say, unfortunately, you can only know you. Brother Eddie, can you put the number up for us, please? You can only know you. You cannot know what the other person is thinking. They will tell you they love you. You are the best thing that happened to them. They will never hurt you. You are my life. They will give you all these sweet talks. But one day you will look at this person and you will wonder, this is a monster I'm living with. And it might even be you that is a monster to that person. So I'm just begging people, when you want to go into marriage, the first, the second, the third, please be sure. If you know you have a different, just tell me, a woman, just tell, I like you. I want to just date you. I'm not sure I want to get married to you. Let's see as it is. Why lie to people? Why build people's hopes? And then one day you scam them. Why? Why do we have to do love scam? We sit in the internet, people scam people and take their money. You know, these men in Africa, they will write to people love things in the abroad. In the abroad, and they will scam them. You see people sending thousands of dollars, pounds to people, and they don't really want to marry them. They're scamming them. Exactly. If Uncle Benga is saying, if you've been scammed, it is difficult to remarry. And that's the truth, because you will be so cautious, you'll be so wary, you'll be so worried, you'll be so, everything the person does to you will be doing ting, 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 ting in your head. Am I being scammed again? And 65 Adebisi says, good evening. 65 Adebisi, that should be Auntie Ademola Adebisi. If I'm right, Auntie Ade, welcome to the show. Lady Joy Enebe, beautiful, classy woman. Mwah. Thank you for coming. Abimbola Balogun, so sad. Internet love scam. Yes, my darling sister Titi from Nigeria. Yes, there's so many of those things going. And the funny thing, I remember there was a time, when I was single before, somebody from Nigeria was doing this love thing for me and trying to scam me and sent me all these funny things that they do. And thank God I didn't fall for it. But I have watched movies and seen people on the internet, documentaries where people have fallen for love scam. So my daughter says that. So what do you do if you've been scammed? So let's look at the time. Brother Ide, please put the number up. So the time is the mic has, okay, sorry. The number is not on the screen though. And I don't know how to work the phone. See, I'm a bush girl from the Royal Ancient Kingdom of Benin City. If you didn't know, I'm a Benin girl. Don't be fooled by that Adebayo name. I'm actually a Benin girl. I'm a princess. Brother, please help. Producer, help. Producer to the rescue, please. Okay. Sorry, I'm looking for my pen. I'll look for it later. So my brother Abe, we were talking this evening, and that's what he said, and he's writing it again. Marriage is like a black market. You cannot predict. It takes God's grace to have a good and blessed relationship. You know what is black market now? Do you know that we used to buy plantain, ordinary plantain? We used to buy 3 for £1. Suddenly COVID came. We are now buying 1 for £1. You go to one shop, they will say it's 1 for £1. Another shop will say it's 2 for £1.50. Even Indomie that we used to buy £8 a box, suddenly £15, £21, £18. The market value went up, black market, because of COVID situation. The same thing with dollars and pounds. You can go to Nigeria today with your £100. You get to Ikeja, the Malam will do it for you for 452. You go to the airport, they will do it for 472. That's how marriage is, like a black market. You can never tell what you will see. Even the Bible says that human beings, we are fickle. They love you today, they don't love you tomorrow. You can just be doing your own thing and suddenly your guy or your babe could just follow you, they vex anyhow. You cannot predict what will happen. It only takes the grace of God. And what my mommy pastor said and taught me, the man needs to have the fear of God. The woman needs to have the fear of God. Yesterday in church, my deacon was saying, he has a wife, a beautiful wife. Why would you then be interested in another woman? Why do you want a side chick or assistant wife? There are many reasons. You know what? Even I spoke to a guy who said to me, I've been married for 18 years. My wife is lovely. We have 3 kids, but we're not friends. We're not close. Along the road, along the way of the marriage, the journey of marriage, we've drifted apart. She doesn't do it for me anymore. They don't have anything to relate. The only thing that is in common between them is they live under the same roof, and they are having kids. And I said to him, if it's not working for you, why have a side chick? Why don't you end the marriage? Oh, I can't end the marriage. My children, I have to be there to look after my children. Then you bear your cross. You stay in the marriage and look after your children. If you feel you're not happy in a marriage, I don't know what else to advise. But on the topic, my Kim tried calling, and my sister Chichi tried calling. Call me on my own number, please. 07799 684 973. Yeah, Hamid Oduna. Yes, I know who Hamid Oduna is. Yes, one of my pastors in Kingdom Seekers. Yes, sir. Welcome, sir. We're all products of our various experiences. That's just the truth. I did a topic in Bible study in church about 2 weeks ago, and I talked about why we make the decisions that we make today, and what happens to us why we are how we are today. And one of the things I mentioned in that study was your past experience, your upbringing, the things you've been through in life. They shape decisions that you make. You hear women saying that I cannot marry a man who is of a certain tribe, for example, because she might have had a bad experience before, or I cannot marry a man because of one thing or the other, because of experiences they've had before. So you cannot really blame people when they feel like that. People are trying to call, and sorry, can you call me on my mobile if you can't get through, please? 07799 684 973. Dr. Ntanyi, I would appreciate if you call back. Sister Zubi, please call back. I really would appreciate if you call back. Please call back on my mobile, please. Yes, so my opinion is, once you miss the first marriage, most times the new marriage is difficult. It's very, very difficult for you to make that second marriage work. Okay, I think there's a call coming through now. Hello. Hello, Sister Chichi. I'm fine. Good evening. Sorry about that.
It's alright. Good evening.
Yeah.
How are you? All these children that are disturbing me, please. Anyway, sis, what you're doing is really very good, and we thank God for your life.
Thank God.
One, some people still believe that marriage is a scam, no matter what we say.
Yeah.
The reality of life is that, there's some things that is real. No matter how much we believe in God, no matter how much we said we are Christians,
Yeah.
there's some things that are real. I was saying the other day that love is, I was talking with somebody, I said, I've never seen anything like love. Do you understand?
Yeah.
I know why I'm saying that.
Yeah.
Maybe I've not met people that love each other or
Yeah.
something like that. But to me, I have never seen anything like love. We might see in this, across this area we are, but in Nigeria, I've not seen anything like love.
Yeah.
But I pray God to help me see it.
Amen.
Because you will say you are marrying for love.
Yeah.
You will, the priest will ask you, you said you're marrying for love, and you have another thing in your mind. Going into that marriage,
Yeah.
And some people maybe they married that they want to stay together.
Yeah.
But there is some devil behind it too.
Yeah.
That after some time they will still break up.
Exactly.
You know.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to say. If marriage is not a scam and love cannot help, I don't know what will help. It's only God that will help.
Amen.
And all this breaking of marriages is in the church that we are wedded. So we are not afraid of God even.
At all.
So what will now help? I don't know.
I don't know too,
because
sis.
if you are afraid of God, you will keep to your promises.
Exactly. Your
You will
marital
keep to that
vows.
oath.
Yes.
Okay? You will keep to everything. You will
Yeah.
know that marriage doesn't come like that, that you have to resolve it
Exactly.
whichever way it comes. You will know that forgiveness comes inside it. You will know that so many things, tolerance, so many things that you need to do for you to stay in that marriage. But we are all now doing Yahoo marriage. You know?
One chance.
One chance. People on the internet, they are saying that people should just go and born children and forget about marriage, you know. And people are just taking their advice. You will see small picking now. They will just born children. They will just born picking, forget about man. If you ask them, they say they know their papa, you know.
Abby.
So I don't know what next. In fact, in 5 years to come, I don't know what will happen. I don't know.
I know. It's scary. It's scary.
So if you are dumped or if you're scammed, my dear, you know as you dey shine now, you bath, finish, you rub your makeup, you put everything on, forge ahead, glory to glory, okay?
Yes.
You can't because you're scammed, you kill yourself.
You can't.
You can't because you're scammed, you'll be crying every day, your pillow will be wet. You can't because you're scammed, you will, you know, every other men are nothing again.
Yeah.
You just forgive yourself, don't forgive the person that scammed you or you scammed. Because men they scam, women they scam.
True. It's both ways. Everybody they scam. Thank you, sis.
Yes.
I really appreciate your call.
Ahead. That's what I want to say. Thank you.
Very well said and very well concluded. Thank you, sis. Thank you very much. Thank you. That's our sister Chichi Zubi. She's the presenter of Anything Goes, aired on Sunday evenings, this same channel at 5 p.m. And you heard what she said. If you've been scammed, that's what we are asking. What do you do? She said you have to move on somehow. I'm going to call. I missed a call from someone, so I'm going to call her. Yeah. Hello, Mrs. Ntayi. Good evening.
Yes, very good. I heard what Sister Tiki said, and
can you lower your devices, please?
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, she said how people go into marriage, and some people really do have good intentions. I know of someone very close to me who went into marriage just like we all did from young, and they had 5 kids, and all through this time, the man was beating her. I mean, serious beating, the kind of, with belt and sticks and all of that. And she will hide it because she needed to save her marriage. But it comes to a time when you decide that, am I going to save my marriage or save myself?
Exactly.
So you now have to make that tough decision. You now believe that in that marriage, she probably was scammed, and unfortunate as it is. So what do you do in such a situation? You run for your dear life and take the good with it. I know she's nothing battle of trying to have access to her kids. So there's some times that when you have done all the best you can, you have tried to protect your marriage, you have tried to protect yourself, but you now decide that, am I going to come out alive?
Yeah.
And you don't have to make that decision. At that point in time, nobody wants to see the end of a marriage, even when you know that, probably, and this is a situation where the lady was even the breadwinner, but the man had reduced her to such a state that she didn't have a voice. A very educated lady, she didn't have a voice, and she was now a shadow of herself. And you decide to, like, I will walk away and try to build my life again. Even if I'm going to build my life alone and with my kids. She has 5 young kids. So take my kids, and we are all in support of her, because for me, I'm Catholic. I believe it's till death do us part. Of course. It will not be death in the hands of the partner.
Yes.
That's the point, So it comes to a situation where you have to decide, what am I going to do? Am I going to stay here and die, or leave, even though I believe that I have tried all I can? live with your life and try and create happiness for yourself again. That's what I will say.
Oh, that's so brilliantly said. Thank you, my Ogwachuku sister. God bless you. Thank you. Those are my two sisters that have called, and they've both said similar things in relation to what you should do if you've been scammed. It's very difficult, but somehow you have to live again. You have to have the will to move on. They gave different examples. Like Sister Nkem was talking about a woman that was suffering from domestic violence. The husband was beating her. Kai, let me not talk. As you see me so, with my fine yellow pawpaw body, they never born the man well, where go raise in hand, touch my body. Women, you need to be strong. Don't let a man beat you for what? Under the guise of marriage, I want to be a Mrs. I'd rather be Mrs. somebody than be the late Mrs. I'd rather be a Miss, I'd rather be Miss Edith than be the late Mrs. whoever the man is. You are so low a man for you to raise up your hand and beat another human being. And if my daughter gets married, if she just call me, Bekem, that her husband touch him, Bakam, you will see me that I will drive with trailer and pack all her load and she's coming back to my house. I don't take domestic violence in any shape, way, or form. But we're all different. You can take it. So I cannot take physical abuse, but in marriage, I can take other abuse and cope and try to bear and pray my way through and try to see that it will work. But that physical abuse of beating, I cannot take that one. But everyday quarrel, everyday kind of things that happen, it will happen in marriage. You cannot deceive ourselves. And that's why one of our pastors is telling us that the successful marriage is secret. You don't fall in love only in the altar. You'll be falling in love over and over and over and over again. You have to be renewing this love. Love is like a plant that you have to water. Marriage is work. It's hard work. You cannot just marry and leave it. You have to work at it. You have to work at it. And that was why last week we talked about the soft skills. I told you my own story. I told you that I'm the kind of person before, when I want to advise a young lady to get married, I will talk about the man's income, those material things that you see. But now, as I begin to grow in years, I'm beginning to tell, the younger women, you need to look at the core skills, the fruits of the spirit, the soft skills. Is he honest? Is he a man of his words? Does he love God? Does he love the things of God? Is he accountable? Is he transparent? Is there unity when you are with him? Little things will tell you how this man is. Don't only look at his salary or look at his looks. Yeah. Sorry, there's a call coming and I'm trying to pick the call. Hello, caller. Thanks for calling. Sorry?
Lady I know in Lagos. Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's this lady I know in Lagos. The only way she could keep her husband is by bringing other women to her husband.
Who is speaking, please?
It's Chichi.
Oh, Sister Chichi. Okay.
Yeah. That's the only way she could keep her husband. Introducing other women, okay, to her husband. So that's the way she belittled herself, stooped so low just for her to remain in that marriage. What kind of marriage is that? Thank you, sis.
Thank you, darling. That one past my power. Maybe I go leave Chichi Zubi, make it talk that one for her own show. I will be giving my husband girlfriend. Anyway, people know me. My pastor used to call me Ruth Abokoku. Me, I will follow my husband inside hole. I love my husband. I want to hold him, hug him, tie him. I cannot bear my husband to call somebody else baby or honey. Talk less of me. I will now use my hand by my own hand to come and give my husband woman. Nigeria will say I cannot come and go and kill myself. Me, I want to add, I cannot go and come and kill. I cannot come and go and kill myself by myself with my own hand. Let me elongate my own. God forbid back then. Like we will say in Nigeria. So many people, I don't understand. I really don't understand. But for me, I would say that women, you need to really buckle up, Men, you need to buckle up too. Because why would you want to be in an abusive relationship? Because you cannot afford to be on your own. Maybe because you cannot afford it financially, or you don't have confidence, or you don't have skills. Many of us, we just go ahead into a marriage and become baby-making factory. You have how many kids within how many years? Before you know it, you've lost the ability to speak good English. You cannot walk, you know. Hello, caller. Thanks for calling. You need to lower your device before you call in. You need to lower your device. You cannot hear yourself and talk at the same time, please. Hello.
Hello, sister.
Yeah, good evening, darling.
Good evening. Well, I heard what you said earlier on, that you can take another form of abuse, but you can't take domestic or physical abuse.
Yeah,
Why
thank you.
We have to take
any form of abuse.
Any form of abuse. My question is, what right does another person have to abuse another person? Marriage is not by force. It is not to the detriment of the woman or the man. If you're not happy, you only have one life to live. If somebody does not make you happy, I don't mean happiness that buy you a Bentley or diamonds or whatever. Just respect the next person. Even if you've had a very awful day, bad day, you're not well, that does not mean you should be nasty to the next person.
You're right.
Like the person. If you're not happy that day, go to your room and lock yourself. Don't take your aggression or
on somebody else
on the person, to the point where some men will pour hot water on their wife's breast and say it's my wife. Or some men will get angry just because you cook okra instead of obolo.
Or the food is too salty, but it's not salty every day.
And you have one year old and and you are carrying this one and backing this one and cooking. Instead of the person to say, how are you? They will say, your head correct. What right has any human being got to make another human being unhappy? That is my question.
It is well.
What form of abuse? Financial, emotional, mental?
Yeah.
Any form of abuse, it's a no.
Yeah.
Because one thing I want to say is the day you accept the first one,
get
ready to continue it.
Yeah, you're right. Thank you, Sister Francine, for calling. I really appreciate it. Thank you. So I think I have to correct myself. When I said that I can accept abuse, I don't mean abuse. I mean, things happen. You are not going to be able to live with a man without having some, challenges, some quarrels here and there. And I don't think that at the sign of every little quarrel, it's time to quit. So I think that there's some kind of endurance and long suffering and patience that come with marriage. So our mothers didn't do that. They go through a lot of trials and challenging times in the home, and they stick to it. But we women of today, at the slightest, any little thing, we are ready to pack our load, we are ready to go. And people are signing prenups and doing all sorts of things. So that's what I was trying to say, that you need to bear. Sometimes in marriage, it's not at the very first sign, if it's becoming too much, there are ways to do things. You call your spouse. And it's not only women that receive abuse. I have seen men. Someone told me yesterday of a man who is married to this lady because of papers. And the lady does anything that she can slap him in public, that they go shopping in, to the African shop, and the girl will just be slapping the man and say, I better carry the shopping and stuff like that. So men also endure abuse. I know of a man who told me that when he closed from work, he can't go home because he's afraid of what he will meet at home. The nagging, shouting wife. He'll rather just hang around in a side street, sleep in his car, and look at the time when the whole family is asleep. He will go home and tiptoe and get into bed because the dragon is asleep. And the Bible says it's better to live at the top of a roof than to live in the house with a nagging wife. And you know how it is. You don't want to go to friend's house, family. You are trying to hide the secret in your mind. You don't want people to know that you are going through difficulties and you are managing the situation. When you have tried your best, you've called this person, you've spoken, you've done all of this, is not working. You have to seek intervention. Like people like us, we marry in the church. Go to the church. You have a mentor. Go to the pastor, the elders of the church. Seek intervention. Go to the family. We married from family. Go to your in-laws. Go to your own parents and seek intervention and try and resolve. The very first thing that we need to do is try and resolve the differences in the marriage before we can't think of separating. But when it comes to domestic violence, because that one can kill instant, you know, if you are abusing me psychologically or emotionally, I might not die that day. But if you use this big thing and knock on my head, I might die instantly. So when it comes to physical abuse, run. Just leave the house. Run as fast as you can. Don't stay there and let him be hitting you and be hitting you, or let her be hitting you. A man told me that he came from work. He doesn't really know how to cook, but he wanted to surprise the wife, who is a doctor and the breadwinner. So he wanted to start the cooking, and he said, this is what he told me. He said he was not wearing any shirt. He was only wearing, like, you know, bottom half, trousers or jeans or whatever. And he saw that the kitchen was untidy. He said he washed all the dishes, washed the pot, and then he put the pot on the cooker. And he said he was even watching YouTube on his phone to see how you do this thing, just to surprise the wife. And suddenly the wife came in, where he was so engrossed watching YouTube to see how to prepare whatever it is he was trying to prepare. He didn't realize that he did not rinse the outside of the pot properly, and there was still some soap on the pot. And where he was naked, you know, he wasn't wearing top, on the top, and he was backing the kitchen, backing the door, while his wife came to the kitchen, and she has nails, and she just did like this, and scratched him from the top of his shoulder down, just because she said, "You are so stupid, there's soap on the pot." So men do go through physical abuse. So maybe perhaps we'll talk about domestic abuse in another show. But today, I think we've managed to trash that question completely, that is marriage a scam? And we've agreed that marriage in itself is not a scam. What is a scam is the person involved in the marriage, the choices they make, the decisions they make, and the intentions they have in their hearts with which they came to the marriage in the first place. So check yourself. It's time to do a self-examination and check your intentions with your better half. If you are in a marriage, it's time to have that important discussion if things are not going well. If you are in a relationship, ask yourself, where are you going? What do we really want? What are your intentions and what are my intentions? And let's be honest to one another. Marriage is not the end of the world, and marriage is not a do or die affair. And if you find yourself being single again, trust me, there is life after marriage. There is life after divorce. There's life after being a widow or a widower. There is life out there. God will really, really, really just bless you, especially when you know your hands are clean. You know that you didn't cause this marriage breakup. You are not the one that have scammed the person. You are not the scammer. I tell you, just begin to trust God. Be happy again. Don't go about crying, carrying a sad face. Try and mix with people. Try and make yourself happy. It is difficult. And that was why I started by telling you that last week I was a bit low. I was a little bit down. All this marriage talk and relationship, I won't lie to you, it really got to me, last week. Life, you just begin to ask yourself so many, many, many questions. But at the end of the day, I found my way, and, I am not there, but I'm getting there. We will all get there. Both the ones in the marriage and the ones in first marriage, about to wed, or second, third, fourth marriage. Whatever situation you are in, work it out as best as you can. Be happy. Find out what works for you and who works for you. But yes, my sister's saying that if you have domestic violence, you should flee. Okay, I'll read some things quickly. Abuse runs very deep. Every form of abuse, especially physical abuse. Sister Inowa is saying that. And, that is correct. Abuse is just not tolerant. You shouldn't tolerate abuse. Bisola is saying some people tolerate domestic abuse all in the name of being Mrs. Somebody. Exactly. Hence I said rather be Miss Somebody than the late Mrs. Somebody. So stay alive, please. People are going on and on about this abuse, and more people are saying the long and short of it all is for both sex to have genuine fear of God. Exactly. That is it, Uncle Benga. We have to have the fear of God. My sister Francine is agreeing with Sister Inowo that yes, abuse is really, really bad. Emotional abuse is also equally worse. And my sister Onize is saying, not just run away, flee, borrow legs if possible and run. And yes, zero right. Some men do change, so all may be right at the beginning, but they change, make almost a 180-degree turn. Some women are gaslighted, unfortunately. Yes. So some men change, some women change. Along the way, some men will tell you that their first marriage, they brought their wife from Nigeria, or they brought their husband from Nigeria. When they got here, they mixed with friends and stuff, they changed. So they will now want to marry somebody, and you say, I have this nice person I want to introduce to you in Africa. I say, I don't want to, please, I have a bad experience. So there are many reasons why people have bad experience, and people make decisions they make because of whatever they make. But anyway, we need to round up now because it's already 8 o'clock. And I want to tell you about my show for next week. It's along the same lines of Is Marriage a Scam? But this time around, I came across a term, I don't know how you pronounce it, TERM, term, called situationship. So I heard this in this program I like to watch. It's called Paternity Court, with one of these judges. And this man said to the judge that we were not in a relationship, we were in a situationship. And the word was funny to me, and I laughed, and I thought it wasn't a real word. And I passed it over to our researcher, our admin, and they found out that situationship is actually a real word. It's actually a real word. And I will expand more on that next week. So my topic for next week is, are you in a relationship or in a situationship? Some people, even in marriage, you think you are in a relationship. You are not, you are not. You are in a situationship. The man is with you, or the woman is with you because of a certain circumstance or a certain situation, because of what they want to get from you. It could be money, it could be economical reasons to share the house bills with you. It could be children, it could be fame, it could be, okay, like me now, if I can marry Dangote and be Mrs. Dangote, it's not that I love him, but because I want to just be that Mrs. Dangote and have that money, isn't it? That's not genuine. Or like me now, I will say, okay, maybe if I was married to Hush Puppy, as he's in prison now, I'll be enjoying the world. It's not genuine, is it? And it shouldn't be like that. Or like maybe I want to marry like Mike Tyson, for example, because he's famous, he has muscles. Maybe when they were beating me as a small child, and I'll be thinking, if I marry a man with muscles, who will come near me? You understand? You'll be so shocked to find out that people go into relationships for different reasons. And as a result, they are not in a relationship, they are in a situationship. But the challenge in this thing is that you are two in this marriage or this relationship. One person is in a relationship, while the other person is in a situationship. What still, both of them are in a situationship. Our perfect choice would be that both of us are in a relationship. So we'll talk more about situationship and relationship next week. So last words, Sister Betty, my big sis, says there's life after a bad relationship or failed marriage. Yes, you have to live again somehow. You have to let it go. You have to let the past slide and just let it go and begin to do things for yourself to rise above the shock, the disappointment, the failure of your marriage. And Pastor Odunaya is saying abuses can be both ways. Yes. Some men equally, yes. I think I said that. And that's why I gave quite a lot of examples for men. Some men, they really do get abused from their wives. I see some women, the way they talk to their husband. It's just a shame because, something might have happened that made them, I don't know. I really don't know. Like Sister Chichi said, I really don't know. All I know is that God is God and God is good and he will make a way for each and every one of us. So I'm wishing you all a beautiful relationship, wherever you are, in a marriage, in a relationship, finding love again, not bother. I have a friend who says, you know what? I don't want to have anything to do with the opposite sex. And I've tried. I've invited her out. I've introduced people to her. She's like, sis, I really, I'm so happy being on my own. I have my job. I earn well. I have my mortgage. I have my car. I have my 3 children. She drives a beautiful Mercedes. She has her own mortgage. And she's like, sis, honestly speaking, I'm so happy on my own. I don't care for sex like that. I'm very happy because she had a very, very bad time in the marriage. So, there are all sorts of people out there. There are those that tell me, people like Mrs. Gap, they are so in love with Mr. Gap. that they cannot do. Even Mrs. Itanya, I see all of them on social media. All these people, they love their husband. They've had solid, strong marriages because the foundation was solid. They're happy. Chichi Zubi, Lady Joy, Sister Betty, they're all happy in their marriages. If you are happy in your marriage, keep it going, work on it, build it, make it stronger. Producer and the wife, hey, I have to beg them this evening. I said, Mrs. Producer, Mr. Producer's wife, please. Your husband just came from work. Let him come to the studio, please. When he finishes at 8 o'clock, I will come and give you welcome kiss home. Those ones, they are so in love. If you in the church self, even Big Sister Lara, all these people that have been married for 30 years, pastor and the wife, they will be talking. You know, people are happy in marriage is my point I'm trying to make. It's not all doom and gloom. People are happy. They are happy. And marriage can definitely work. And I know people that have successful marriages of years and years and years, and it's still going strong. So try and build on yours if it's not working. Pray more, seek advice, watch our show and get some more tips. And I wish you all the best. I wish you fruitful, lovely, beautiful relationships and marriages this week. Thank you for tuning in. God bless you, and see you same time on Monday, 7 p.m. with another topic called, Are you in a relationship or a situationship? It's me, Lady Edith Adebayo, signing out. God bless you. Bye.